Good morning, everyone. You are getting the half awake version of Carrie this morning. I was up at 12 a.m. writing my little talk today because I couldn't sleep. I had kind of a emotionally stressful day yesterday, and that typically happens to me. I struggle to settle down, shut it off, whatever you want to call it, flip the light switch off. I sometimes my mind just kind of gets in a groove and it doesn't want to stop. So I got up, I read my Bible for a while, and then I'm like, I might as well kind of write about my chaos because that's what I do, right? So usually my go-to when I am trying to go to sleep, if I can't sleep, is praying for people. And I'll pray for anybody that I know who's ill or struggling or, in some way, family members, all sorts of things, who need Jesus in their lives, all that kind of stuff. So I'll go through the whole thing, all the generic go-tos, right? And if that doesn't work, then I kind of just start thinking or praying more generally and saying, okay, God, what's up? Tonight or last night, that wasn't working. I'm sad for a young man and his family that I'm not able to connect with or meet to reach them in some way. And sometimes you kind of feel helpless. Have you ever felt yourself in a spot like that? You look at something, you see a need, you want to do something, but can't for whatever reason. Your hands are tied. Better grab yourself a cup of coffee. So we want to do something, but sometimes there's nothing you can do. It's not in your ability to do anything. So I sit up, bugged by it. I want to shut it down, but maybe that's not what God has for me right now. Like maybe He doesn't want me shut down right now. The one thing I can do for this family is if I'm not directly involved, what is direct involvement really? Is that in-person contact? Is that only the stuff that you see, like between people? Is that the only thing, sitting and teaching someone? Is that the only thing that's direct content? I would say no, because contact has three facets. It's the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual realm. And that's the support systems that we need. So if I'm not called to be right up in the midst of all the stuff and things with somebody, in the physical and emotional realm, is the spiritual realm. That's the only one I got, right? That's the one I have to turn to. And I would beg to say, like, maybe that's the most important one. It's not settling, like, oh, I can't, help them in person, so I guess I'll have to pray. That doesn't seem accurate. I don't think that's just settling. Could this be the most important connection? The one we, like, it doesn't sound as glamorous, but it's actually the one where the work gets done. So it's fulfilling to do the prayer part for someone, but it's almost like that's where the battle is really waged. Like the spiritual front line, actually ground zero, it could be this spiritual realm that we kind of want to pass off as not that important sometimes, or it doesn't feel as glamorous. But think of that zone as where the Marines get sent in. The Marines clear the way for the rest of the crew to come in and build bridges, help people, mend what's broken, right? The Marines do the hard work. I'm thinking maybe prayer is the Marines' job. That's my job in this situation. I think God says, yes, that is my job in this situation. Romans 8:26-27 says, likewise, the Spirit helps us in our weakness, for we do not know what to pray for as we ought, but the Spirit Himself intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words. And He searches hearts, knows what is in the mind of the Spirit, because the Spirit intercedes for the saints according to the will of God. So when we're lost and don't know what to pray for, the Spirit does. 1 Samuel 12:23, moreover, as for me, far be it from me that I should sin against the Lord by ceasing to pray for you. I will instruct you in the good and right way. The sin of ceasing to pray for you. Sounds pretty direct. Ephesians 6:18, pray at all times in the Spirit with all prayer and supplication. To that end, keep alert with all perseverance, making supplication for all the saints. This is an interesting thing, that as I do this, my spirit calms, my emotions settle down, my desire to make everything right and better is muted. because I have no control over that stuff. And that was a losing battle from the start. I don't control people or their emotions. I only control my behaviors and my things, my emotions, and my stuff that's going on in me. So I can pray over anything I like. Satan doesn't get to tell me what I can pray over. I can allow God to give me his prayer request list. I'm sure I'm gonna like his better. My biggest issue could be falling for the trap of thinking that the outcome should be a certain way. Like if I don't see the certain progress or something like that, I need to insert myself because something different should have been done. I could see that being a problem because obviously I prayed I want to see action, right? Let's let God do it in his time, shall we? So I have to keep my mind on who my enemy is in this situation. Sometimes it's me. Come on, Carrie, be patient. Let God do his thing, right? So 2 Corinthians 10, 3-5, for though we walk in the flesh, we are not waging war according to the flesh, for the weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, but have divine power to destroy strongholds. Having trouble talking today. I think it's the lack of sleep. We destroy arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God and take every thought captive to obey Christ. James 4:7, submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil and he will flee from you. 1 Peter 5:8, be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. The war I'm having is in the spirit. It's not here in person. So submit, God says. How does a position of power start with an act of submission? Doesn't that seem a bit of the opposite? And at the same time, if you're going to consider those Marines that go in and clear the ground ahead of everybody, they're just following orders. If I'm going to be the Marine that is the front lines, I guess I better follow orders. And we got orders to pray and submit. So it's by submitting that God actually speaks over us and helps us understand what we should be praying for. We don't know what to pray for as we should. And sometimes what we want is more of a selfish thing, especially if you're looking at people you love, what you see as misses or fails or something in their life, something you want for them so badly or for yourself so badly. Sometimes God says, yes, that's my plan for you. That's my goal. And sometimes he's like, no, that's not, it's either not this time or not at all or not ever. Who knows? He knows what we should pray for and what we're going to get. So as I was lying in my bed trying to calm my mind and pray through those things, a kind of a moment of clarity happened when I realized that I could use the same methods that I've begun to use with people who hurt me in this situation. When I cannot change them, I run to the one who can change me and them. He can do both. He is capable. So last night I was still laying there awake and I don't know what God was up to. Sometimes if I get going too fast during the day and I sometimes feel like I didn't have enough private or quiet time with him, he's like, okay, you can get up in the middle of the night. All right, I guess I'm up. I might as well go talk to you or listen to you, one of the two. So I do know I can focus my thoughts on him and get his mind towards people. And that is my only job in these situations, is to pray and let him work. So maybe the only progress that I will have is that I'll get my peace. My peace will increase. That's okay. If that's all I get, that's a good one, right? I'll take that. I will do the work of kicking the devil out of this space. My head, my body, my perspective, my behaviors, all that stuff. This is what God will do when you give him space to work. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him. He will make your path straight. Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. He works for your good. Philippians 4:6-7. Do not be anxious about everything. In every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. 1 Peter 5:7, cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed. I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. That's a ton of stuff that God will do for us when we just submit and let him work. Get out of the way. Let him hold you. He can change your mind and your circumstances. Have a great day.